What's going on, guys? TT here, coming at you with the video I promised for yesterday. It's one day late, and I do apologize. This is the Giovanni Mewtwo Legendary Event patch, and I'm going to be rating Giovanni and Mewtwo as a character. Keep in mind, guys, these are my opinions, first thoughts, as well as thoughts coming from other players that I've talked to in a Discord, and pretty much the main Pokemon Masters Discord of over probably a few thousand people. This is just opinions based on my own, as well as using him for maybe about 30-50 times, as well as theirs. Let's get right into it. I will say that my Giovanni is level 100, guys. I have unlocked him all the way up to 120, but, and that's a big but, guys, I wanted to leave him at 100 for this video because most of my characters are level 100 currently, because I'm still working on getting them uncapped. Now, starting off with his stats here, he's got 448 HP at 100, 327 attack, 400 special attack, 354 speed. His defense and special defense are a crippling 88, but given the fact that we're looking at a 448 HP, 400 special attack, and a 354 speed, that's not really as big of an issue as it would be otherwise. He still gets hurt pretty fiercely, but he hits like a truck. And this is only at level 100. Going into his, and actually before I go into his kit, let's compare him to Olivia real quick, which her stats, look, 417 attack, his special attack is 400. Her special defense and defense are quite a lot higher than his, but I also need to point out that mine is level 113. My Olivia is 113, and there's also one other thing I need to point out when comparing that. Mine is a 16 out of 20 Olivia. Now, if I was to go, currently my Giovanni is 0 potential. If I went ahead and used the 7 I have, his defense and special defense are already at 102. And what is also a really good thing to note here, guys, is if you're playing the event and you're farming the event, you can actually get him to 20 out of 20 potential, 5 out of 5 sync, 100% for free. No money you could pay right now, aside from maybe if you pulled on Grimsley, is going to beef him up. You know, you can only indirect beef him up by having a good enough team to do the event with that. But at 7 out of 20 potential, he's about 80 points lower, and with those 7 points, he got brought up 14 special defense, 14 defense. His special attack is already at 7 potential, 3 points cheaper than my 16-point Olivia. So he is going to surpass Olivia's base attack with his special attack. His speed, 368, compared to hers, he's much faster. Now, keep in mind, Olivia does get high crit and speed boost, so her attack could very well be amplified to, I think it's about 500 roughly, because of the constant crit she's going to be getting. She's going to be spiking. But if I'm to compare her in that way, I need to go into his moves next, which is the next point I want to touch on. He's got Psychic and Shadow Ball as his main attackers. 113, 113 on both of them. They both can drop this special defense, and this is very important, guys, that I bring this up. He's got 2 different typings here. So, the previous, what one could say, best Psychic we had in the game, Caitlyn, her Psychic was 103. He's actually got 10 points higher than her on that. So, just based on that, not even her stats her stats being that she had 333, he's got higher special attack, so he's outclassing Caitlyn now, the previous psychic user, and there's no ghost type even close to having his special attack. So now he's outperforming at 0 out of 20 potential. He's outperforming in 2 different type classes. That is something that Olivia does not have. That is something no other character that would be in this rating group would currently have. He's also got nowhere to hide, and the cool thing about him is his setup is really short. He could literally only needs to use this once. Raises his evasiveness, so he's going to be getting hit less. So that defense and special defense isn't going to be as crucially painful because they can't hit him. He also has the critical hit rate, which, while he can't get it quite as good as Olivia tends to do, because for some reason she hits like a madman, he gets it pretty freaking close from what I've played. But with that critical hit, he's going to be matching her crits as well. And also what's cooler is, compared to her, he has less of a setup time. She has to use both X attack and hard as diamonds, which X attack does give her a little bit more of an edge in the attack stat. I'm going to point that out as well. But since he doesn't even have that choice, he's not going to even need it necessarily, you know? Which is rather good. He's also got confusion, which confusion, very small chance, but we're not even going to worry about that. His ability now, power reserves, powers up moves in a pinch. So if he gets a little bit battered up, he's going to get beef from that as well, which is really, really neat. Now, before I go on into testing him, guys, I'm going to tell you guys straight up, a big difference between him and any other character currently is he is a free character. This is Mew free we're talking about. So you can get a 20 out of 20, 5 out of 5 potential sync boost character for free, guys. Best in 2 different stats, and he's very rivaling Olivia. Honestly, in many ways, he could even top Olivia, considering she does have to ramp up more. It takes her longer to ramp up. She doesn't have that speed at the start, so he has a much shorter setup, on top of being like something you can immediately get for free. And his event's going to be returning back. This is all very good, guys. Like, I can't stress this enough. But I should also talk, it does kind of suck that he doesn't have something like amped up, but like she has, but he's still got power reserves, which isn't bad. And going into battle, guys, and keep in mind, he is only level 100. He will get a little bit stronger than this. I'm going to take him in, and should have just reset. Yes, they did. Take him in Drake to showcase him real quick. Already got him chilling there. Let's give him a better support team. This was from me farming a little bit earlier, so I'll just alter that team a little bit. Filter, moves. I'll give him Rosa, because Rosa would be one you would be more trying to do. And I'm just going to, like, pretty much delete her from the team, almost. Because I'm going to be switching in the main character, so I can showcase him properly. Now, we're going to leave him on auto, just to showcase what he can actually do with only 1 support.
Everything we've got.
And it's going to give me a chance to talk about him a little bit more. I do really think he's got a lot to offer, guys. And he's either the best in the game currently, or the second best. He really interchanges, from what I've seen. Like, there are plenty of situations where you would still want Olivia, and Olivia still overall probably does outperform him in certain standards. It's more like a 50-50 thing, but he, for the most part, I would say, in my experience, does outperform her in quite a number of ways, which is really, really interesting. Not only does he have that dual typing.
Do it!
And see, he's getting those special defense procs. I think he just got 2 in a row.
Now! Show up!
Really interested to see if he can actually win this, too.
Well played! Now!
Yeah, it looks like he might actually be able to clear this, too. Because the main character is actually tanking everything.
Now! Regrettable.
So with the proper setup, he can probably clear most things.
Do it!
And this, like I've said multiple times before, this is only at level 100. I mean... But I think we got a really good character here, personally, guys. But it's really, really nice to see them give us a character like this. But honestly, guys, like, if you haven't figured it out by now, I would definitely give him, at the current stage of the game, I would give him probably about an S+, because we're not going to get much better than him right now. It would have been nice if he maybe had, instead of confusion, he got something that was a little bit more supportive, but at the same time, it doesn't really override anything. And again, this is my personal rating. And I do have to give him the plus because he is a free character. So even any negative thing I could say about his defense, about him being an event only thing, because keep in mind, guys, this event is temporary. They did say that they're going to be bringing it back, but with all the content they have planned, it probably won't be back for another 6 months minimum. And that's me being gracious. It's probably going to be about a year or two before we see it again. Maybe a year and a half. But even still, he is a free character. He's a free character that the only real limit on how good he is, aside from the 2020 itself, is how much you're willing to farm. How much time you're willing to put into him. So if you have not started the event, you really need to get on it, guys, because I've gotten up to 7 out of 20 potential, and I think I'm only missing, out of the shop, I think I'm only missing 1 more sync power, so mine's like 4 out of 5 sync currently. Let me check to be sure. Yeah, I've only got 1 more, and I've already bought the expensive red ticket, which was 1,000, because that's what these are. And also, I should point out, guys, with the tickets, the potential tickets, you can only use, I believe you can only use these custom power-ups on him. Regular 5-star potential tickets will not power him up. And that's really, really important to note, guys. And after this event, you cannot level him up to 120. Another really important thing. Unless they change and patch it. But at the current state, guys, you have to have these specialized megaphones to level him up. Or specialized training machines. And those training machines are required to get his moves, and they are required to get him to level 100, 120. So you cannot just unlock Mewtwo and stop playing the event. You need to get him to level 100, 120. Even if you don't get his potential up, even if you don't do his sync pair, you need to play the event until you get him to 100, which took me about like a day and a half. But that's all I gotta say, guys. Just make sure you unlock him to level 100, 120. Make sure you do that. Take care though, guys. Hopefully this video helped you, and I will see you guys later. Peace.